Dr. Dan Fedeli here, and today we're here to talk about the support component of the care at the Balancing Center. Most of you would know that we have balance, support, and integrate. And each time you change one of those parts of a triangle, you change the whole dynamics, which causes an improvement or an upliftment in the others. When you first come in, we get you into alignment so that the body has the capacity to connect to the ground and start to heal from the inside out. And if someone comes in and they're still experiencing problems, what we do next is we go upstream from the atlas, from the upper cervical work, and see if there's anything in the mind, body, or the neuroemotional connections. Trauma, history, mystery. People know now more about PTSD, where traumatic injuries from the past get locked in with an emotional component. So by having a person touch their head, or we do different points around their body, we're capable of finding out if there's an override from an emotional or an experience of trauma that's still telling the body to keep doing the physiology for that old emotion. Now, one example I use of that have you ever seen an angry person walking down the street? Well, they're running the physiology of anger. So rather than working against that, having people stretch or do different things or make adjustments over and over and over again, if there's a mind-body override, there's a couple techniques that I've integrated, well actually more than a couple, over the years in my 35 years of practice, that help take the body from a place of reacting to an old trauma or an experience and bringing them present so that they can function in the way that their body's now capable of doing. One of those techniques is the bioenergetic synchronization technique, BEST. And we talk about synchronizing. Back when I studied that in the early 80s, there was no sending information back and forth from your bank to your checking account. And what we do is we find through muscle testing areas that aren't communicating. We bridge those areas, and by having you hold your breath, your body has to decide if your next breath is more important than the trauma it's being held on to from a fall, an injury, a relationship, an experience of abuse. It's very common for not the content, but the context of something coming up, of people understanding what it is they were working on. There was just today somebody who came in whose father had passed, and it was very traumatic for her. So as I was working on her, we found she had a neuroemotional override. She said, "Oh, my father just died." I had her think about that. It made the arm go weak, and it made a leg tighten up. Now those are indicators that the body's in reaction. And when the body's in reaction, it's responding to something from the past, which keeps it from being able to respond to the present. And we know that health and life is really about responding to the present from a present time consciousness. So through a series of connections with the neuroemotional technique, which is an ET, and the bioenergetic synchronization technique, and several techniques, other techniques in my own research and experience with how the body functions from a mental, an emotional, an imagination, an unconscious, and a subconscious way, I was able to have her think about her father's passing, which is still something that needs to be processed. And each time her arm went weak or her leg tightened up, we were able to bridge those imbalances and help her body come present. And by the end, she was able to be present with the experience that she was experiencing, which gives her more of an opportunity to handle that from a place of present time, open heart connection. For other people, we get them balanced, and instead of their pain going away, they keep either losing their correction or not moving through a certain place. What we do is we apply a couple different test points to see if there is an energetic override. We balance out either through the meridian system of the body, which is sort of like the circuit breakers of your house. Each circuit runs different organs, each circuit runs different emotions. Or we do things around where that connection is stored in the brain, always using breath as the leverage point. Now you'll notice from my videos I'm always talking about leverage. Something has to make the present more important than that experience in the past. So in closing, the reason we include the support aspects of the neuroemotional and the mind-body connection is that it helps people get better faster, because as they heal, if they're locked into a trauma from the past, that keeps them from being able to move forward. And we know that the correction we're doing with the upper cervical work makes the body self-correcting. And we know that the body has the capacity to heal.